What do you say we sit up on the wash machine and ride the spin cycle, babe?
Oh, that was fun.
Paul and Al Show. 94 HJY.
94 HJY World Tour continues. Next, 94 HJY and Apex send you to Charlotte, North Carolina. There's no live rock concert this time, but it's loud and it rocks. It's the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 Winston Cup race on Memorial Day weekend. Listen to 94 HJY for the NASCAR World Tour trip montage. Be the 19th caller at 224-1994, and you're going to score an official 94 HJY World Tour t-shirt and register to win the 94 HJY World Tour trip. The NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 Winston Cup race in Charlotte, North Carolina. You'll also score a limited edition 94 HJY World Tour jacket. It's another rock and roll adventure brought to you by Apex. There's something for everyone at Apex. And your home of the World Tour, 94 HJY.
94 HJY's Paul and Al.
Oh, charmingly bourgeois.
94 HJY, classic Deep Purple, Woman from Tokyo, and that's for the lovely Jill, who's celebrating a birthday for the next 8 days. And rightly so.
Teacher has the week off.
I'd celebrate for 8 days if I could.
Yeah.
I mean, she's turning 29.
Really?
For crying out loud.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought she was much younger than that.
Well,
we're making some points here at the home of rock and roll. 94 HJY. The World Tour montage will come your way soon, and you know what to do. 224-1994 to perhaps get that trip down to Charlotte to see NASCAR action.
Now it's Friday, and that means Bob Burke, restaurateur extraordinaire from the Pot of Phil, usually stops on by. He's here in the background. Not only was Bob on TV recently, but also in the latest issue of the Providence Monthly, where they asked Bob about losing weight and what do you do to keep in shape? And Bob says, and I quote, "The human body is a friction machine. Going out to a health club or spa and needlessly using up many of the movements which you will need later in life is about the same as lending your car to a taxi company to drive around for thousands of miles every day. You'll need those miles in the future, and you should never, ever, ever throw them away wastefully by doing anything other than lifting a glass or a fork." I like that.
Healthful advice.
Very good analogy.
I think that's a great bit of advice.
Scientifically sound.
You two guys, hey, listen. You know what? I one of my favorite bumper stickers is that whole eat healthy, exercise and die anyway. Because for bumper stickers is that whole eat healthy, exercise and die anyway. Because it's like we have two extremes here. We have you, who says don't work out at all, and then we have Paul, who's like Mr. Ultimate Workouter. I think somewhere in the middle is where you should really go.
We are still going to be hanging together when we're like 65 or 70. Yeah. Paul's crippled knees sitting in a bar stool and saying, "Bob, could you go back over to the bar and get me more beer?" And I sprightly will run across the room.
Yes, with that large gelatinous midsection of yours.
Cop another couple of beers and bring them back to you in your wheelchair.
Hey, you know what? And then half the time it's like you can eat what you want or exercise all you want, and you know what? It's already been predetermined by those little genes in your body, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
You don't think any of us are staying around very long, do you?
Nah, I don't think so.
No. So why be healthy? Die healthy? What's the point?
And on that note, we're all eating hot dogs from McCoy Stadium today.
Yeah, I thought that since it's springtime and since I was out to the Paw Sox game last night, that I really ought to start spring off on the right note and bring you guys some genuine McCoy Stadium hot dogs.
Well, let's take a taste of this and
hey, hot dog, get your hot dog.
Now, do you just boil them?
It's a pretty good. I do now. I noticed they're grilling them out there, but I thought maybe that was just because it was the first few days of the, the new stadium and everything. Because I think there's only one way to do a dog other than on an outdoor barbecue grill or holding it over a stick on a fire, and that is to boil them.
Now, do you boil them in just water, or you put a little beer in there?
Oh, I don't know.
You ever boil them in beer?
Here, let's try.
Well, don't use that.
It's a little double diamond. That was the other thing I found. tremendously impressive.
I sometimes boil my shrimp in beer too, you know.
Ooh, I
Makes it
like
yummy.
shrimp in beer, especially with a little of that Old Bay seasoning.
Yeah.
From Maryland.
Now you say
I put Old Bay on my French fries. I love it so much. It's awesome on French fries.
You know what you got to come down and feast with me on at the restaurant? Down at the Pot, my favorite dish, French fries with béarnaise sauce on it. I mean, you know, my
That's
doctor,
decadent.
my doctor told me, he said, Bob, if you could do some things to slow your heart rate, you know,
that would be.
he said, you know, marathoning, long distance running, you know, high intensity aerobics would all slow your heart rate. I got it much slower.
Yeah, almost dead.
Yeah.
Like I ate French fries and béarnaise, and it just
So I guess to celebrate McCoy Stadium's opening, the Pontifical restaurant will be serving up hot dogs tonight.
Oh, the saucisson.
Is that the French word?
The saucisson.
You were saying at
Mais oui.
McCoy Stadium they're serving up Double Diamond beer this year.
It's awesome. It's a little gourmet paradise. Believe it or not, you can get a little white wine, a little red wine, Double Diamond on draft, Molson on draft. I couldn't believe it.
You know
I
what?
was like,
The double
this is
diamond works
heaven.
well for baseball as well.
Absolutely works in there. I was thinking Julia Child may end up being a baseball fan. with
Oh,
all
Julia.
Yeah.
Strike!
Now, you were on television last night. Somebody called up and said
Yeah,
you were
I was.
hysterical. You were talking about what should be on the Rhode Island coin, and you put your overcoat over your head, like with a politician being followed by a camera.
Yeah,
Now, you're saying that you had a rather interesting television brush on the Today Show?
Oh, I almost got really snapped on that. The mayor was last year when the Today Show was taken.
In town, right.
I happened to have been at an event, and there was a camera there, and the mayor gave a great speech and came down into the crowd, and he had some of his marinara sauce, and he went to hand a bottle to me, and I was saying, Mr. Berg from the Pot au Fer, one of our restaurateurs, let me give you a bottle of my sauce. Well, of course, I mean, I got tons of this sauce. So I looked at the mayor, and said, Mayor, who the hell would need another, effing bottle of this stuff?
Crap, right.
Okay? At which point, like Buddy's eyes start screwing around in his head like he's a cartoon character or something, and I looked down and realized he's got a little microphone on his lapel.
So they were filming for the Today Show
So
when
they're-
you used the F word and the SH word.
And I had no idea, so I was like, I panicked, and I just said, but who can, get enough of this great sauce? And I grabbed the
Of this
bottle
effing sauce.
and, ran for the end zone. I got out of there so fast. And, 2 months later, when they aired it, my mother called me at, quarter of 8 in the morning and said, I just saw you on the Today Show.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, my God, I broke into the sweat. I was like, did I say anything? She said, oh, you could see that you were talking to the mayor. I was like, oh, no. And she said, but they were talking over you.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Saved.
Wow.
Yeah. So unless you're a good lip reader, we couldn't tell that you were
That
saying,
I
I
was-
don't need this effing sauce.
You got a better vocabulary than Coach Parcells.
That's French. That's a French word.
Oh, is it?
That I was actually,
Okay.
it's French for
Yeah.
great sauce.
Right.
Great. This really great.
Way to express
Grand
yourself.
effing sauce.
That's all it was that I was doing.
Hey, well, thanks for coming by and get us in the McCoy spirit.
Can I have another dog?
Springtime,
See, I have
another
a fe-
dog.
I have- see, I have a
And we got
feeling
some
that.
more
And you got
double
mustard?
diamond and a little good stuff.
All right.
Hey, you know what I wanted to ask you guys is, it was on with Patrice Wood last night. Is Patrice Wood getting sexy?
I think she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I think she
anybody
looks,
else that
I think Patrice Wood looks much better now than she did before. She's looking better every year.
Yes,
I
what
think
is
so.
going on with
Yeah.
that? I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
you know
saw her
what-
last night, and I
Yeah.
said, I think she's picking up
So-
appeal.
She's becoming sensuous after her 35th birthday, whatever.
Yeah, who was
29.
Was it Esquire did a thing? They said women that we should find sexy, and it was the women of Victoria's Secret. And then they said women we do find sexy, and it was the women of jockey underwear. So maybe Patrice.
Maybe she's wearing jockey underwear.
is the jockey thing. Let's
could
call
be
her
the
and ask
secret.
her.
All right,
Yeah,
Bob.
let's.
Thanks, guys.
Maybe
What
Doug-
underwear you
why
wearing?
don't we- why don't we just ask Doug White? He knows.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Dunkin' Donuts.
Hello there, darling. I'm calling to arrange a viewing for Miss Caroline McNamara of the Massachusetts McNamaras.
Excuse me?
Yes, a viewing. She'll be in from Zurich Tuesday. Shall we say 3 o'clock? She has a tea at the consulate at 4 and the cotillion thereafter.
Well, what are you talking about?
The cinnamon buns, dear. Everyone's talking about them. Not even last year's Paris runway collections were this rich and indulgent. So do be a dear and see if you can't squeeze us in.
You can just come in.
Anytime at all? Well, charmingly bourgeois.
Excuse me?
Dunkin' Donuts' new cinnamon buns, freshly baked, smothered in icing, filled with rich, delicious cinnamon flavor. They're all the rage.
Now, this drive-through window, I assume there's valet service?
Now, for a limited time, try a new cinnamon bun and medium coffee for $1.99 at participating shops only.
Well, here we are once again for Tweeter. All right, listen, it's springtime. People jump in their cars, gas up, and hit the road. Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of wise buys to make driving more fun.
Yeah, you gotta have tunes.
Right.
You got a Kenwood AM FM CD player with a detachable face. It's $199.99. $80 off on that thing.
That's a good one. What else?
Well, we got an Alpine 6-disc CD changer.
Just add this one piece. If you got a radio, you're good to go.
And it's a $299.99.
We've also got this video package for your car, right?
Audio Box has been making these things, and it's very good.
You can get broadcast television, right?
Yep.
And it's got a video cassette player to watch movies.
5-inch LCD screen. It's got headphone jacks. Comes with its own speaker. You can hook up a video game to this. It'd be a lot better to have that playing than me looking in the back going, don't make me stop the car.
You know what you could do? You could get a vehicle with tinted windows. Throw this thing in there and just, call that your vacation. Tweeter. Audio, video, and a boatload of know-how.
Tweeter has a substantial selection of car stereos and mobile electronics. Come check it out for yourself.
Hi, this is John for the all-new Alpert's Furniture Showplace. Our customers leave Alpert's with big smiles on their faces, smiles that say, I just got the guaranteed lowest price. They know they can trust our promise. You can't buy it for less. We guarantee it. Alpert's is New England's largest Serta dealer. Now, why would that be? Would you buy a state-of-the-art Serta mattress set if the price were too high? If you thought you could get it for less somewhere else, most of us wouldn't. I wouldn't. But being the biggest means Alpert's gets the best prices from the factories. And let me just tell you about this one set, a Serta special edition queen size set that we got on special purchase for $299.95. Queen size, Serta, both pieces now, $299.95. With approved credit by Serta for every bedroom in your house with no money down, no interest, and no payments till April 2000. I think this is something that'll give you a big Alpert's smile. Just what you're looking for in a furniture store. Route 6 Seacon.
Hey there, what do you say we sit up on the wash machine and ride the spin cycle, babe?
Oh, that was fun.
Paul and Al Show. 94 HJY.
Gentlemen, start your engines! HJY with Bad Company. Want to congratulate Norman.
Norman Dion is our 19th caller. We actually had him on tape, but we were eating hot dogs and we accidentally erased them.
We splashed mustard on the expensive equipment.
That's what you get. We're drinking beer and eating hot dogs in the studio, and we broke things.
The World Tour trip, whenever you hear the montage.
Say it again.
Okay. At Newport Creamery, we buy only the freshest local vegetables, make our own ice cream, and gather fresh local eggs. Our fish and chips are fresh battered, for crying out loud. You gotta get up pretty early in the morning to be fresher than the creamery.
How early exactly?
3 a.m.
Amateur hour. By that time, I've been up for 5 hours, washed 4 loads of clothes, and written a doctoral thesis. Still, the kids and I are very impressed. Bye.
Sheesh, I haven't seen cheetahs move that fast. Spring is here, and that means it's time for Newport Creamery's world famous half-gallon sale. Now through April 18th, they're just 2 for $5.98. Now get going.
Hey, I'm Mark Canuck with news on 94 HJY. More people are working in Rhode Island. Rhode Island's seasonally adjusted jobless rate.
By the way, the term Mark Canuck is using, working, is in italics. Yeah.
Actually, it's just that DOT workers didn't get as many coffee breaks, that's all.
Quote unquote.
Oh, see?
Quote unquote working
See, more efficient use of our state money. Less coffee breaks. Made all the difference. That's why the last time the number of jobless was 5.3%. Well, that was back in 88. It's been that low. And, 7,400 jobs were made in Rhode Island this year, or an increase of 1.7%. So more people are working in this state, and we're working for you. Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed says Secretary of Defense William Cohen and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Hugh Shelton maintained the Allied war in the Balkans has not, quote, fully evolved. In comments to the Senate Armed Services Committee yesterday, the two officials maintained their confidence the airstrikes will achieve NATO's objectives. Reed,
he also said that Slobodan Milosevic has not been completely evolved either.
I think that's been clear for a while here. Reed, however, says that while the air war has been proceeding as well or better than anyone anticipated, he says whether or not it will lead to a political solution is still unclear. Meanwhile, 33,000 reservists and National Guard members could be called up to active duty. The Pentagon reportedly is ready to ask President Clinton to have them reporting to active duty, and the plan by Secretary of Defense William Cohen could begin as early as this coming week. There were intense attacks from NATO overnight in Yugoslavia, hitting many sections of the country. A bridge was taken out 30 miles southeast of Belgrade, separating two towns, and Serbian TV is reporting that there were some NATO airstrikes on Novi Sad, Yugoslavia's second largest city. Pardon me. Attorney General Jan Marino spoke before the National Press Club in Washington yesterday, called for new measures to punish acts of brutality and racial bias by police officers. She said in many minority communities there is no trust between them and the police because, quote, residents believe that police have used aggressive force, that law enforcement is too aggressive, that law enforcement is biased, disrespectful, and unfair. And finally, jail inmates from Chicago have allegedly been calling people in Weber County trying to get them to send money. Police officials said the inmates called collect and identified themselves as FBI agents. The inmates demanded money or credit card information, threatening to implicate the victims in a drug case if they would not comply. Officers were able to stop one person just minutes before she was going to wire $3,500 to the phony agents.
Wow.
By and large, if the FBI calls you, they don't call collect. That's just a tip-off. You look for those subtle hints of whether or not something's real or bogus. If the FBI calls you collect, that's a good sign they're not really FBI.
And who would accept
the
charges?
That's right. Just amazing. Rain today and tomorrow. High today about 55 degrees. Rain going to be off and on Saturday. Sunday, little chance of rain, but it will be cloudy and a high near 60. I'm Mark Caddick, 94 HJY.
Well, I guess Jim Shorts had mentioned if this Di Gregorio guy gets the job that he's going to quit as play-by-play announcer. So,
did I say that?
Oh, no.
He's my bud.
It's a good choice.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, right.
He my bud.
He my pal.
Yesterday it was, Dave Cowan. Larry Farmer.
JD. The man.
Well, the guy has
always been in his corner.
This guy has notorious connections to kids coming out of New York and through AAU programs around the country. Maybe that's the wrong
negative connotation.
Yeah, you're right.
He has
close.
Legendary.
It's okay. Paul is notorious for using the word notorious in the wrong way.
I
in the wrong
believe so.
context.
Legendary connections to a very, very good pipeline and from New York City, where most of the players in New York.
You said he had a
Here's the
nice
difference.
pipeline.
Jerry DiGregorio is legendary. Michael Jackson is notorious.
There you go.
All right.
It was a great night last night. Dave Leto, the associate head coach at UConn, national champions, down for the press conference last night. Good friends of Jerry DiGregorio.
Good for him.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. And Dennis Coleman, who was representing Jerry, was there as well. And
Wayne Gretzky was even there, and his parents were there.
It's
It was a love fest.
They said that he's going to retire from hockey to follow Jerry around
And
for his
oddly
entire
enough,
coaching career.
If you didn't hear, Dennis Rodman was fired by the Lakers yesterday, and Di Gregorio found out that he has a couple of years of
No
eligibility
kidding.
left.
Got to bring him in, huh? Will be tough getting Dennis to class, I think, but, we'll have to work on. Did you hear about that? Shows up to practice yesterday with no sneakers and no socks.
Yeah.
Says, I forgot my sneakers and socks. And Carl Rambis said, you know what? Forget it. You're out.
He just said, he kicked him out, and then Jerry West said, forget it. He's off the team.
You know what? Jerry West, you know that he didn't want to do this from the get-go. But, you got to do what you got to do. And the guy just continues to embarrass not only the Lakers, but the entire league and all of us, really. And And it was time for it to
I
happen.
know I can't wake up in the morning and look at myself the same way.
That's right. Now we all have a little more self-esteem as we go through the day.
That's because you have a striking resemblance to Mr. Rodman.
You didn't have to bring that one up.
Okay.
Rodman said that the Lakers mismanaged him, and it was their fault that things didn't work out.
Yeah.
I got to agree with him, too.
Oh, yeah.
This
We're
one,
always
usually
in Rodman's corner.
I don't side with him, but this time I'm going to. If anybody picks him up, if anybody picks him up, that is just, they should be thrown out of the league. They should take their team away from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think that's a fear.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't even, don't even think about it. Jared DeGorio, new head coach of the University of Rhode Island. Celtics going to go tonight against Miami at the Fleet Center. Last night, Chicago White Sox beat the Boston Red Sox 4-0 at Fenway Park. Anson Carter, a couple of goals. Bruins won over Pittsburgh 4-2. Big win for the Bees. They got Buffalo over the weekend. If they win that, they can finish up in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Not too bad at all. And Wayne Gretzky going to be skating in his final game probably on Sunday. He said 99% sure this will be his final game. Parents coming in, all sorts of special things being done. It better be his final game. And he said, once I leave, you're not going to hear from me again. Ever. He was trying to stay another year. Toronto's got the All-Star game next year.
Yeah.
He wanted to skate in that, But he said he will not accept a special spot on the team or anything if he doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So...
yeah, we'll see.
Jim Shorts on Sports 94, WHJY Providence.
Brought to you by CompUSA, your computer superstore.
It is 8:30. Here's Candlebox at 94 HJY.